Okay, so we got this cabinet in using the same. We have brought the cabinets, the two first cabinets and the RangeHood insert in the space just to kind of see how it feels, start getting some measurements. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna determine the center of this. So 35 3/4 divided by 2 is 17 7/8. So we're gonna make a mark. Let's double check. Measure from both sides. Okay, so what we've done is we put the mark, we've wrapped it around, and we have the mark now in the center. So that when we pick this up, we determine the height, we can line this up right on this center line that we already have, and we can mount it up there. This is where the bottom of that piece of metal has to be mounted to. Now I'm gonna pre-drill these, and the hardware I'm going to use to install these is gonna be these GRK 1.5 inch screws, okay? They have a nice face to them. It's also going to be screwed into the cabinet from the side. Just hold it up on this. All right, so now the insert is installed. It's installed on our center line. So now we can start working our way this way and installing the cabinets. Up here, and we're gonna level this, and then we're gonna drive a screw in here and a screw in here. And we're gonna make sure we're using the 1/2 inch supplied screws. We just wanna make sure that whatever we use doesn't go through the cabinet, okay? So the easy way is, you know, you can look here, set it up. Yep, that won't go through the cabinet. All right, so now we're gonna prepare the unit. So we need to pull this door off, and we need to knock out one of these tabs back here for the electrical. We're gonna put one of these inside that hole. So you have to decide when you do yours. Are you gonna go with a square duct like I'm doing, or are you gonna go with a 6-inch round, okay? In my case, the square worked better, so I went out and bought a bunch of square duct work. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. So while this is down on the ground, I'm going to mount this. As you can see, there's 2 holes there, and this has to be pointing towards this way. The flap opens. The reason why you might go with one or the other is basically it could be the configuration of where your studs are. So maybe you have to go round because you want to move around a lot. You have a lot of duct work to run. In my case, I'm going straight up and straight out. So square to me made more sense, so that's why I'm going with square. All right, so now that this is mounted up here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the hole in the house, okay? So to do that, we need to temporarily install this in the opening. Now the nice thing is this has like a temporary, kind of like a temporary holder. So you just push it, when you're pushing it in, you're pushing it this way, and these things are gonna latch and it's gonna hold it up there. And then you gotta push it up to do the final installation with these screws here. So we're just gonna basically just insert it into this opening here. And there you go, it's temporarily held in there, okay? These latches. So now we can sort of work on it up here. All right, so now that we got it temporarily kind of up here, now we gotta figure out our duct situation, okay? So this is the fitting I bought. Basically it goes straight out, okay? And this is what we're gonna be putting outside, okay? So this will be outside, and this is going to connect into that. All right, so now what I need to do is I basically need to decide, where do I want this? If I want this to be higher, outside, I bought this collar, okay? This could be trimmed to the size that I need, so this is kind of, you know, a game of figuring out where you want it, you know, how high and stuff like that. So let's go outside. This soffit here is lower than I thought. There's the old window we covered up. So I don't think I need this collar. So I determined that I want the top of this piece to be 5 inches from my soffit. Okay, so I'm gonna go right with this line here. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna drill a hole directly in the middle, all the way through the house, to basically get our spacing on the outside. All right, now let's go find that bit on the outside. We can see it went a little high. I want to come down just a little bit. All right, so now we have a square we need to cut out of the drywall. So now what we can do is we can just drill a hole in each corner. So that's what I'm gonna do. That'll give us a clear template on the outside to cut the siding from the other side. So let's drill 4 more holes. All right, so I have to cut through the drywall on the inside and I have to cut through the siding on the outside. So I'm gonna use an oscillating tool with a wood blade to cut the drywall, and I'm gonna use an oscillating tool with a metal blade to cut the siding on the outside. That'll give me 2 nice cuts. Let's get cutting. So now we got the ductwork sort of rough in. We're gonna now work on the electrical. Basically, this is where our power is coming in. We basically have to run power from this to the unit. Okay, so now to attach this to this hood, there's not much information on the instructions, but I'll show you what I did. So what I did is I pushed it up as high as I could, and I ran a screw in each one of these. So that one. And then what I'm doing is I'm gonna bend these over, these little metal tabs, and I'll kind of show you what that looks like on either side, right? On the back, I ran a screw here, I ran a screw here. This goes through this and into this. And then up here in the front, I put a screw here and I put a screw here. And I might put one here and probably one here, okay? So now the unit is attached and we're looking good. Now we're gonna wire up the unit. It's just straight up black to black, white to white. All right, so now the electrical is all wired in, obviously, because we have lights. So now we're gonna finish up the ductwork. Okay, so this is what I had to kind of make, kind of a custom piece. So I needed just I needed about 1 inch, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this one, I kind of cut it on so that this will kind of flex in a little bit, and then I'm gonna actually put it inside that hole up there. And I think this is gonna work. All right, so I taped everything up. So what I would do if I actually have to replace the siding in the spring. So I'm gonna be pulling this out in about 3 or 4 months, 5 months, whatever. But if I wasn't, what I would do is I actually get spray foam in a can, and I probably would spray all around here. And what that would do is that will hold this to the wall, basically adhesive glue it to the wall, but it'll also insulate it, keep it from condensating and stuff like that. So that's what I would do if I wasn't replacing this, these vents in a few months when I do the siding. But this is what it looks like. So now we're going outside. We're just going to do some caulk on the outside. I'm not going to get crazy with mine because, like I said, I'm replacing it in a few months anyway. All right, so we are finishing up this cabinet install with the hood cover. Okay, so this is the hood cover here. All right, so to attach this, we need 6 screws. Okay, so we're gonna do 4 screws through the cabinets into the hood or into the cover. And then we need 2 screws that connect this to the wood cover, and they go through these holes right here. All right, so we got our 4 holes drilled. You can see them here. Okay, we have our countersunk spots as well. So now what we're gonna do is go over the hardware that we need to mount this. So we're gonna use the same screws that we use to face screw these cabinets together. So these are GRK 2.5-inch screws. I get the white ones, so that'll be nice and hidden in there. All right, and this is gonna go through and into here. All right, so now the next step is to actually get this thing up there. So now that it's in place, we're basically gonna flush up these faces right here, clamp it together, and screw it in. All right, so now our 4 screws are in. It's actually attached. Now all we gotta do is add 2 more screws on the inside underneath here to attach this metal to the wood. Oh, I can't do the other side.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. All right.
That's like kind of funny if it just fell out.
Just fell that right on my face. All right, so that's the hood. That's how you install the hood. Check out clickstudios.com. They supplied all this. I'm Mike, Found Video ITV. I don't know why I'm yelling, but I'm out.